Hey guys, so back with the next installment of the morning routine. So I've done my water, like kind of gotten set up. And so now I have my second little cup of pecans here. And I have my freshly brewed mushroom coffee. Isn't that beautiful? You see that steam? And then what I do is I'll just read nonfiction in the morning. But something I've started doing is I will reread instead of reading new stuff. So you all know by now, probably, if you don't, here you go, that my favorite book is The Untethered Soul. This book is genuinely the Bible equivalent for me. I've just found it to be the single book that is the most effective at just conditioning me to be happier in all sorts, and I just completely agree with everything in it, which brings up a cool principle. So a lot of people do read nonfiction, and I used to be like this, where I'd read nonfiction and I would scribble down all the notes, and I would worry about implementing all their tactics and their tools and whatever. But now what I do with nonfiction is I actually look at, I think of what I already think about the world and what I'm already feeling on the inside, deep inside. And then I'll be reading my nonfiction and I'll look for ways that these nonfiction authors, these experts, have found the same thing I'm finding on the inside. And so, for example, Michael Singer, in his book, he has, let's see if we can just turn to it real quick. He has chapter 15, and his chapter 15 is called The Path of Unconditional Happiness, right? And he's like, dude, the only decision you really need to make in your life is whether you want to be happy or not. You don't need to worry about seeking God. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just, do you want to be happy or not? It's the ultimate unconditional spiritual path, right? Which is why I'm so focused on that. And I already knew that on the inside. I already felt this deep feeling of, why are people so unhappy? Why would we ever want to be unhappy? I already knew that. And so when I read nonfiction, now what I do is I'm reading and I'm learning new things, but I'm looking for the things in my own heart that are already there that I'm too scared to work on or too scared to act on. And I'm reading it from an expert and I'm saying, oh, Michael Singer agrees with me on this happiness stuff. It must be real. And now in truth, you can always listen to yourself. You don't really need an expert to tell you anything. But it often helps when you're starting to be oh, I'm not crazy, right? Or I made a book course on The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand in my Liberated Millionaire Inner Circle program. And just in her preview to her book, she wrote it 25 years after she wrote The Fountainhead, and she wrote a little intro to her own book, just talking about it, and she was yeah, I just got rejected by 12 publishers, and I just feel this wistfulness and longing and just this intensity and blah, 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 and she just captured my emotions as a creative so well, and I was dang, this person is experiencing the same thing as me. That means I'm not crazy, right? And so now I'm convinced I'm not crazy. I already know. But in case you feel crazy for wanting to do your own thing or wanting to be completely happy and fulfilled on the inside, that's a good way to get over it. And so, yeah, this book, The Untethered Soul, it just rocks my world every time. So I'm about to start back at chapter 4. I literally just read it through, read it again. Not kidding. It's it's still just a guy writing a book, right? It's not God, but I do read it religiously in the sense that not because I trust it blindly, but because this book agreed with everything I was already thinking, that it is just exactly on point with all of my own spiritual thoughts. And therefore, I use it as a way to strengthen myself and force myself, in a way to let go of the earthly, fears and doubts and all that stuff, and to be stronger. So I highly recommend that book too. But yeah, nonfiction with mushroom coffee in the morning will change your life, guys. It's awesome.